I think we're live. I'm pretty sure. I think it's still processing, but I will wait a little bit longer until we officially get started. I see one like, or one viewer I see, which is good to know for sure that it is hopefully live, but I'm going to try and pull up the video on my laptop, and then I will get started with all the cool stuff I'm going to be able to hopefully give away to all you guys, because I do need to make sure that I get, obviously for a giveaway, I got to get people's addresses and stuff. So if you feel comfortable enough to send me your address through a DM on Twitter or my email, whichever way you think is best to contact me, will be great. But before we get started, I am going to make sure the video is live and that it's popping up on my channel and all that, and I'll share it on Twitter. And I'll tell you guys all about Comic-Con and Avengers, and I can do a Q&A too, kind of related to what you guys may want to know about the Avengers or Spider-Man or maybe Ultimate Alliance. You know, I played the demo at E3 and Comic-Con. I don't own the game, but I do know a little bit about it from what I played. And I've been keeping up with the news too, so let me check first. See if it's actually sounding good on my laptop. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Good. Okay. Great. Awesome. Well then, hi everybody. How's it going? It's just a Monday or Tuesday afternoon. I think it is Tuesday afternoon. I can't even keep track of the days because they've been going by so fast recently. And I've been so preoccupied with the videos that I've been doing. But yeah, how is it going, everybody, on this Tuesday afternoon? It's summer, you know, so hopefully you guys don't have school or anything. I know some people may have to take, you know, like intermediate classes over summer vacation break or summer school if you're doing not so good. But me, I get to have the whole summer to myself, and I went to Comic-Con. It was awesome, and I went to E3, which was also awesome. So my summer's been great. You know, seeing Spider-Man Far From Home, also part of my summer, but I also recently saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was really good. And I think you guys would definitely like that movie as well as Spider-Man Far From Home. If you liked Far From Home, that's awesome. But I think if you're, you know, a movie buff, I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is also a good movie to check out. We're almost getting started. Hi, Franco, my boy. What's going on? What's up, everyone in the chat before we even get started? What's up, Jesse? What's up, Cancer Enhancer01, Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons, Carnage Ghost, Niam Moreno, Zero Louie, John Davis, Perry Sterick, Alex Renzi, Nearly Legend Gaming, Spider-Boy, Tom Morgans, Lord Awesome, Bell Sly Slim 2564, Pug Lord, Jaden Lopez, Internet User 12, Sean Franklin, Spider Gamer 52 Vlogs, hello there, Xavier G, Lucky Star Z, all these people. What is going on, guys? Sorry if I don't get to read your comments. I know that's a big problem of my streams, is that I don't really read the chat a lot because there is a lot to talk about during these streams and a lot to give away to you guys. And I will have a way on how you can get a certain item, and some of the items will be grouped together. So the smaller items will be grouped into like small packages that I can deliver all at once to you. Others will just be like one big item, larger in scale and in impact if you're a massive fan of the character of whoever it is. So yeah, you know, that's how the giveaway will operate in terms of what prizes you can acquire, and I'll show you guys everything that I got from Comic-Con myself and for you guys that you can get during this giveaway. But don't need to, you know, don't feel like you have to rush or anything. I'll try and read almost everyone's responses so that way I can determine who can get which item. And also, as a heads up, if you've won a previous giveaway in the past, I remember frequently that I did the Spider-Man PS4 newspaper giveaway from E3, and it was awesome being able to give you guys that. But some people tried to act like they didn't get one when they already did get one. So if you did get a prize from another giveaway, try not to enter in this one, since I want to try and give stuff to people who have not gotten some merchandise items yet. And it's a fun way for me to give back to you guys, since you guys have supported me every step of the way. And just for a huge thank you for just being on this journey alongside with me, because I wouldn't be able to go to these conventions like E3 and Comic-Con without you guys. So that's what makes it fun, because we're doing this together. So almost done. I'm going to tweet out this post, or this stream, I mean, and we will get started pretty darn soon. But in the meantime, guys, let me know in the comments, what is your most excited aspect or most hype up aspect about the Avengers project as of right now. I did my recent video about the biggest problem so far with the game, which in my opinion is its marketing, because it's not really doing too good of a job marketing what the game is. But based off the leaks, because I know for sure some of you guys have seen the leaked gameplay of the Avengers, or just the trailer, the A-Day trailer. If there is anything as of right now that you know about the game that makes you excited for it, let me know what that is. Why are you hyped for the game? What is your most excited aspect about the game? And fun enough, this question is just for fun, but also it relates to whoever has the most, interesting answer to this question will get one of the prizes that I have in store, which I will reveal to you guys soon. But again, what is the most excited aspect for you personally related to the Avengers project? Is it the story? Is it the gameplay, leaked or not leaked? Is it the customization that we can do as the heroes? Is it the cast? Is it the creators of the game, Crystal Dynamics, Square Enix? What aspect, anything you can think of related to the game, are you excited for the most? So please let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. But almost done, I promise. I'm sorry. Let's see. I'm going to type this out as I'm talking and tweeting. So I'm currently doing a San Diego Comic-Con giveaway live stream, as well as recapping my overall experience at the convention itself. Join in on the fun and a chance to win some really cool merchandise items relating to Marvel, or relating to everything Marvel. And I think that's it. Spidey Squad, Avengers, all that stuff. Hype. I can't even type. I made a bunch of spelling errors, of course. Can't even spell giveaway correctly. That's perfect. I'm currently doing a San Diego Comic-Con giveaway live stream, as well as recapping my overall experience at the convention itself. Experience I had at the convention itself. Join in on the fun and a chance to win some really cool merchandise items relating to everything Marvel. And then Spidey Squad. And that's it. I don't think I have to do anything else. That's pretty self-explanatory. Boom. On Twitter, there we go. Sorry for the long wait, and I will read your guys' answers to that question of why are you excited for the Avengers? Which aspect are you most pumped for? Me, before I read your guys' comments, me personally, I think it's I don't want to say the gameplay so far, because I really hate the comment that someone said on one of my videos, like, this just looks like a more realistic version of a Lego game. That's not anything close to accurate, but I do understand what they're talking about. Like, I get what they're, why they're saying that. I think that's so mean. The gameplay, it didn't blow me away like Spider-Man did, for example. And it's funny because we've seen plethora of Spider-Man games in the past, but only a few, Marvel-related games not related to Spider-Man, like Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, But this is an Avengers game, so like, oh my god, the Avengers, how cool is this? But the way that they presented it, I don't know. Like at E3 specifically, the first time I saw it, the gameplay at the behind closed doors showcase, it was they're on the bridge, they're fighting. It was really cool seeing Thor literally smack a guy like 20 miles away off the Golden Gate Bridge, and then Hulk, destroy people with his smashing and these debris picking up and throwing at people. That was sick. I'm not really convinced on the Iron Man, Captain America, or Black Widow gameplay yet. It just seems kind of there. I mean, I don't know. Like, sure, Iron Man, you can shoot laser blasts and unibeams and homing missiles, and it's like, I don't know. It didn't feel like you were this superheroed, armored individual. Like Iron Man's supposed to be like really fast paced and a tech genius, making all these gadgets that you can use in the battlefield, and doing that, it didn't feel. Of course, we didn't get to play it. We only saw it at E3 and Comic-Con. We only saw the footage shown, not playing it ourselves, but it didn't really seem to have a whole lot of weight to his movements in this armored suit with these these gadgets and missiles he's shooting at enemies with the unibeam. It just like, exploding and people are flying all over the place and shooting at him with lasers, and I don't know, it just seems kind of not dull, but unfinished. It just seems like unpolished, and they're still working on that aspect of the gameplay to polish every character. And in fact, they did say that out of all the characters visually and gameplay wise, Hulk is the closest to being done. I mean, obviously, he's just a giant green guy with no shirt and just torn pants and smashing. Pretty easy. So it makes sense that Hulk is the one to be the closest to being done in terms of how polished each character is. But, with all the characters we've seen so far, the top 5 main roster of characters, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, and Captain America, I'm really excited to see what Ant-Man plays like, and also Kamala Khan, because her stretching and how big can she get, how wide can she expand with her fists and her, feet to hit people and all that. But Ant-Man, he can shrink, and he shrinks the enemies with his shrink gun. And the Pym tech, so how's that going to operate with gameplay instead of just that cutscene? And how's that going to balance well with the other characters, because it's really weird if you think about it. Like, Hulk's going to be damaging everybody with all, like, thunderclap, seismic smashing, throwing debris. Thor's got his hammer, he can fly around. Iron Man himself can fly around, shoot lasers. And Black Widow has guns and can sneak up on people. So it's like, how is that going to balance well if, like, you're playing with 3 other of your friends online, and say your other friends are playing as the characters I just said, Iron Man, Thor, and Hulk, and then you're playing as Black Widow? How are you going to be able to get any damage on any enemy if Hulk's just destroying everyone, and Thor's throwing his hammer at everybody, and Iron Man's shooting lasers, and you're just shooting your pistols and attacking people with batons? Or even Cap, too, He's throwing his shield, he's reflecting it back and forth with enemies on screen, and he can do his giant shield bash. It looked very similar, oddly enough, to Ultimate Alliance 3 in the Captain America move, where he has the shield, he does that, giant ricochet move, it's hitting off everybody, and then he slams on the ground. It's exactly kind of what this was, except minus the ricochet. So instead, he just charges up the shield and then slams it on the ground. And cool, but it didn't have enough flair to it for someone like Captain America. He's not as athletic as Spider-Man, of course, but still, instead of just, charge up my shield, and then boom, everyone's just an explosion of his shield, pretty much. So, I don't know. The gameplay, I still need to be sold on. The marketing is doing the game no favors, in my opinion. The trailer itself, it's pre-alpha in terms of the visuals, so I'm not worried about the graphics or the visual quality that I could have. And if it's looking this, acceptable as of now for pre-alpha, it makes me that much more excited to see what it could look like finalized with the final visual render of the game in May of next year, because that's going to be a really big upgrade for what they have. Other than that, I guess mainly to answer my own question, and the question I see you guys are answering too, is the cast. I think the cast themselves is what excites me the most, even though I'm still off-put by Nolan North voicing Iron Man, because it literally is just Nathan Drake in Iron Man armor. Hulk, though, Troy Baker is Bruce Banner. That's going to be very interesting to see. Travis Willingham always voices Thor. I shouldn't have been surprised, honestly. I was actually hoping for an earlier poll I conducted a few months ago. I actually wanted to see Troy Baker voice Thor. I think he'd be really great since he voiced Magni or Modi in God of War. He voiced, like, Thor's sons, I believe. Those were Thor's sons or Baldur's nephews or whatever it was. That connection in God of War. So he voiced a god already in God of War. And I really think that his voice for Magni or Modi would have done really well for Thor in this game, but instead they just stuck with the standard voice actor who's always been Thor, and also Kingpin in Spider-Man PS4 is Travis Willingham. And then Laura Bailey is Black Widow. What's up, Waru Boy? And she is a very interesting character, gameplay-wise. Her sneak attacks, her pistols, her her power staff. They didn't really show this in the footage in the Golden Gate Bridge demo, but afterwards they show this really sweet scene of her fighting on, like, the streets of San Francisco, I think, and she has this, like, power staff that shoots out red electricity, and literally she just goes to town on every enemy in front of her, and it looked badass. So that looks really cool, and Laura Bailey was Mary Jane in Spider-Man PS4, so I think they're going to probably do a pretty good job with her in this game, and she sounded very excited to be playing her in this game's role, which is cool. And then finally, Jeff Shine, who actually I like the most because he's the unknown. I've never heard of him before, and I wanted more of that actually in the cast itself. I didn't want Nolan North to be Iron Man. In fact, I actually want him to be Hawkeye, since even though it's not confirmed he's in the game, he's almost definitely going to be in the game later on, Hawkeye, as an added character in the roster. And I think Nolan North could do a good job as Hawkeye, but have Matthew Mercer or Crispin Freeman voice Iron Man. They are fantastic. So I actually wanted that instead of Nolan North, but he seems invested in it. But Jeff Shine, unknown. So I've never heard of him before. I've never seen him before. And from his interviews, it sounds like he's been a fan of the cast themselves previously. And this is like, I think, the first time he's worked with them. So because of that, I'm the most excited to see how his version of Captain America is going to be portrayed in the game as its story purpose. Again, the visuals of the Avengers themselves. I mean, I even have the lithograph, which sadly is not for a giveaway. I just wanted to show you guys. I know if I had another one, I would give it away to you guys, but I actually want to keep this for myself because I do think it looks badass. But the suits themselves, you know, Captain America and Thor and Iron Man aren't really doing too much for me in terms of their visual quality. Hulk is Hulk, and Black Widow, I think, looks fine. Her face model is fine. You know, again, major improvement from E3 to Comic-Con in terms of the graphics. So I think by May 15th, 2020, it's going to be even better than what it is now. So I'm not worried about that in the slightest. But again, up close shot of the Avengers from the Avengers game. And yeah, it was cool. So I really did like the game, and I'm sure you guys have some thoughts on it too. So I will read your comments now. And I do have my handy dandy notebook with me, so I will try and keep tabs on who is giving some really cool answers based on these questions I ask related to Avengers or Spider-Man or whatever it is, so that way I can keep track of who gets what item. And that way, if you feel comfortable enough sending me your address, I can mail it to you as soon as I can. Probably tomorrow or the next day when I have time on my hands to mail stuff to you guys, because that will be when I'm the most free. So let me scroll all the way back up and see your guys' answers to this question. Really sorry about that. Lucky Star Z, most hype aspect for me is story, but I got to be honest, I'm worried that Cap won't be in the game for the majority because he's dead. Otherwise, it looks good, but gameplay-wise, I have to wait. I know for a fact he's not dead. I think we can all agree at this point, Cap is obviously not dead. If anything, I think it might be similar to the first Avenger movie, actually, where Cap, you know, dive bombs in the bay or in the ocean with the plane, the bombs, and then he is dead, but then, oh, he comes back to life on ice. I don't think he's on ice, but I think maybe he somehow saved the scientist, whoever was inside the helicarrier, the Chimera, and then I think once the helicarrier explodes, Cap tried to get the guy off the helicarrier, and then somehow I think he's not dead, but I think he might be actually captured. And I think some story aspect of the game might actually try and be you discover Captain America is alive, and then you might have to try and rescue him from whoever captured him. Hydra, AIM, whoever it is. I think that's actually going to happen. It might be very predictable if that is the case, but I think it makes sense for the story. So that's a very good answer, Lucky Star Z, the story. Xavier G. Ingram, I'm intrigued to see what the online platform and aspect has in store for us regarding to gameplay and levels and such. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited too for that, because that's the one that they're the most secretive about, tight-lipped. But oddly enough, that's probably the biggest aspect of the game, which is very concerning why they are not discussing that more. Because, oh, you can play it for years to come, online with your friends and your buddies, and yet they're super secretive, nothing we know about it at all. And that's very concerning, but I think once they describe what it is, because people are still, even 2 months after its announcement, are very confused as to what this actually is. With the gameplay and the co-op itself. They don't know how it works, and neither do I. So I think when they reveal what that is, I think people will get excited. So that's a very interesting answer. Xavier G. Let's see. Hugo Garcia, do you really think that Ant-Man is going to be playable? I really hope so, but I don't know. Yes. I mean, that he has his own trailer. It literally says Ant-Man trailer for Marvel's Avengers. So yes, I think Ant-Man's going to be playable, and hopefully that means also the Wasp is playable too. If Ant-Man can get giant or small, and Wasp can get small and fly, I think that would be a very cool mix of play styles that you could do in this game, but we shall see. But I definitely think Ant-Man is playable, I mean, because it makes sense. I don't like his outfit, though. I mean, he's just wearing a red jacket, and that's it, so I need to see what his actual Ant-Man outfit looks like before I get hyped to play as him. Samuel Kiragu, Evan, do you think Spider-Man will actually be playable in Avengers? I don't know how they will make the same feeling of swinging as Insomniac did. Very good question. Very good question. Here's the thing. I have a 90% feeling that Spider-Man will be playable in this game, even though they say, oh, because two things. One, the marketing is insane for the PlayStation aspect. When they have these banners for the Avengers for E3 and Comic-Con, they literally have the PlayStation logo on the corner, you know, greatness awaits, PS4, play select content first on PS4. So that's the very interesting aspect. What they mean by that probably is the beta, but what if Spider-Man is a playable character in the game in general for all consoles, but then you can only play as like the advanced suit Spider-Man in the PS4 version or whatever. But I know Iron Man can fly, Thor can fly, Hulk can jump, Captain America can run, Black Widow can be stealthy, Spider-Man can swing and crawl up walls. So, and it's not an open world game. Avengers is not open world. So how is this going to differ from New York compared to the Avengers? Well, there's hub worlds, there's regions that you can explore in different areas of the Marvel Universe. So I think like if you're exploring a more, you know, rural area like San Francisco's streets, or if they have a more kind of open area like the forest, where they showed like this snowy forest in the game, maybe you can like swing off satellites or something, because they had like this giant satellite base in this area that they didn't show in the trailer or the gameplay that's public yet, but just behind closed doors. But yeah, I don't know. And maybe like Ultimate Alliance, maybe they might just not care. He just sky swings, you know? I don't know, but I think that how the gameplay was in Spider-Man PS4 itself versus the gameplay that looks like to be in Avengers, I think they could make it work. It just may have to be adjusted to how this game is compared to Spider-Man. So very cool question, Samuel. I'll try and write your name down too, because I think that's a very interesting point. Are we back? I think we're back. No? The quality does not look good on my laptop from what I'm seeing, but are we back? Lag? I see lag. We good, internet user says. All right. We're back. Yep, sorry, guys. Internet is trash. You're probably going to experience a lot of those interruptions frequently, so sorry about that. But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a very interesting dynamic with Spider-Man being playable in the game, if that is the PS4 exclusive content. Waterboy Thanos appears as an end credit scene doing Fortnite dances. That's what we need the most. That's what we need the most, for sure. Yeah, Samuel, again, I'm thrilled about the ambitious nature of the game. I just think about how epic this game could be, especially with the aspect of being a global team handling global events around the world. That's a pretty good answer. But yeah, are we back? Sorry. Someone called me in the middle of the stream because I'm streaming through my iPhone. Are we okay? I think we're okay. Okay. All right, we're okay. Again, guys, I'm the worst when it comes to live streams through my phone. If it's on the PS4, that's a different story, but through my phone, it's not really doing too good. But yeah, I think Samuel makes very good points on why he's excited about the game. Mutant Mayhem. Also hyped to see how intimidating the Taskmaster will be. I really want to see the Avengers be broken. Also, I hope it's the same voice actor as the one for Spider-Man PS4. Mutant Mayhem. I'm excited for the Taskmaster 2 because he's fought the Avengers in the past, on A-Day, on the Golden Gate Bridge. So if it is connected to Spider-Man PS4, which I do think so that it is, that means that Taskmaster in that demo for the Golden Gate Bridge A-Day demo is a younger version of the Taskmaster that we see in Spider-Man PS4. Because Spider-Man PS4 takes place in 2018 in this really cool screen that they had in E3 on the tablet. They showed like helicarrier images of the Chimera, the Avengers helicarrier. And it says, oh, A-Day is taking place on the date in like the left-hand corner of the screen. It said June 15th, 2015. So if that means that A-Day takes place in the past, that also means that in the future, where Spider-Man fights Taskmaster in his own game, that means Taskmaster would have fought the Avengers in the past in the connected Marvel Gaming universe, if that makes sense. And if it happens, I'm going to be super hyped if that is the case, because that makes sense to have a younger voice of Taskmaster facing off against the Avengers, and then he sounds a bit deeper as he gets older when he fights Spider-Man in Spider-Man PS4. So Mutant Mayhem makes an excellent point, and I definitely think that Taskmaster will be a highlight of the Avengers boss fights. I mean, I'm wondering who else. You know, we know Hulk, we know, or Abomination, I should say. We know these robots, you know, if they're AIM robots or Hydra robots, these black and white or black and yellow colored robots that we see with Ant-Man where he shrinks them. So I have no idea if that's going to happen in terms of the story or the co-op missions or whatever it is, but I'm excited to see what actually occurs in that setting. Mikhail, my bro, which I'm so sorry we haven't done the Iron Man Armored Adventure review yet, which if you guys are excited for that, it will happen. I'm just a lazy bum, and I've been so occupied with Comic-Con and my own videos and stuff, but we will try and find a time to do that, Mikhail, I promise. Evan, what aspects of the MCU would you like to see implemented into the game, into the Avengers? Probably their suits. Honestly, I think the costumes. Captain America's scaled armor and the bearded Fat Thor and the Iron Man armor that he wears in Avengers Endgame. All the costumes. I mean, I think the voice acting is going to be pretty good. The suits, though. I mean, I'm a big fan of the MCU suits for the Avengers themselves. And these game suits, I'm not really digging. I'm sorry, but they look kind of average, I guess. Just not like this. I mean, I'm sorry, again, bias, shill, Insomniac fanboy, whatever. It honestly is just my own opinion that this suit is honestly one of the coolest looking Spider-Man suits I've ever seen. Not just because it's made by Insomniac. No, the white logo, the blue mixed in with the white, the lenses, the leg. I just love everything about the advanced suit costume because of how unique it is. And they tried to do that for the Avengers project costumes with Captain America with his more SWAT look, and Thor with his more bulky look, and Iron Man with his more slim look, but it doesn't flow well. And I wonder if they did that on purpose, because if they're encouraging people to customize your Avengers in a way that you want them to look like, I wonder if they made the default skins look bad for that exact purpose. But again, the advanced suit looks beautiful, but then it's followed up by all these plethora of alternate suits within the game already for Spider-Man PS4. So the Avengers, if they're trying to encourage people to customize, I don't know if that was a good idea to make their designs look so, I don't know, bland, in my opinion. It looks kind of simplistic, but not anything impactful. Like, wow, that is Captain America. That looks like Captain America to me. I don't feel that when looking at the Crystal Dynamics suit. Even the Collector's Edition statue. I love the shield and the helmet. I think those are the two best features of the costume. But everything else, the main suit itself, the Buffy looking SWAT look, I don't feel it that much. But if you guys do, that's great. Let's see, any other comments from my beautiful mods? Waterboy wants a Red Hulk skin. I definitely think we're going to get that. In my video, I said that Cap had a ghetto vest. Yeah, I can see that. Franco, I'm excited for the people at Marvel, Square, Crystal, and all the other studios who are working hard to make this game with a lot of love, passion, heart. Exactly. Beautifully put by Franco, is that the developers are super passionate about this game. It's just that the marketing that they have right now is very off-putting, and the direction they're going in is interesting, but I don't think it's flowing too well as of right now. I mean, once we see the gameplay at Gamescom and another trailer probably near release and some Game Informer footage, you know, in-depth videos about the game and how it operates, I think then we'll start to get more excited as of now. A couple more people's comments I'll read, and then I'll give away the prize to I think I know who already. But Dylan, I'm a big fan of H2O McCallum. Crazy idea for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Well, that's for Spider-Man 2. We're talking about Avengers now, dude. But very cool about Venom. Peter Miles came on Marvel Spider-Man, the way that Venom have powers with Peter and Miles. So if Peter and Miles both have Venom on, that'd be cool. Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons, I'm so excited for how the Avengers will work together, and I'm so excited for the Hulk versus Abomination fight. Hope it's like the movie. That boss fight was awesome. Yes, it was. The Incredible Hulk movie did a really good job of Hulk facing off against Abomination. Is Yuri Lowenthal watching this live stream, says Spidey Ghosty? I don't think so, but if he is, I'm going to faint, because that's amazing. Xavier Sandoval, I'll have to pre-order the game in February because that's when I'll have enough to buy the collector's edition. The Cap statue already took my money, LOL. So that's cool. So Xavier is very excited for the game, and he's going to pre-order the collector's edition. So that's very cool. For me personally, I need to see more of what the collector's edition has in store and actually see more of the game in terms of the co-op and the the story and what the narrative is and how much replayability will there be, because you know what to expect with a Spider-Man game, because we've had so many before. Open world, side missions, cool story, awesome swinging, fun, a layered process. Avengers has never really been done before to this scale. So we've had Ultimate Alliance and X-Men Legends and some MMO stuff, but not like this. So that's why I've never seen a game like this before for Avengers on this scale of a AAA game. So I'm really curious to see where this actually goes in the future for the gameplay's development and the story's progression. But anyways, guys, that was, I believe, the main question I wanted to have answered related to the Avengers. And I think the winner for this specific question in terms of his answer is Samuel Kiriju, or Kiriju. If you're still here in the stream, dude, you won a prize, which I'll try and get over here. This Avengers Endgame / Ultimate Guide to Avengers Magazine from Entertainment. Or if you have it already, then I'll try and get you something else. But this is essentially one of the giveaway prizes that I got before Comic-Con, actually. And I was trying to see whether or not people would be interested in this kind of collector's edition magazine, because you do get the whole history of the entirety of the MCU. In this magazine, you also get some very cool, bio descriptions and, backgrounds of the other MCU films that have been made through phases 1 through 3, Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War is also in here, Spider-Man Homecoming, the first Avengers movie. So that is definitely a very cool prize to get. So again, Samuel Kiriju, if you're still in here, boom, there he is. So Samuel, I don't know if you have Twitter or email or whatever you have is best to contact me, and everyone watching too. Best way to contact me is on Twitter. So right now, if you will at me on Twitter and say, Evan, I won the prize, and then I'll follow you, and then I can DM you, and then I can get your address and then send you the magazine as soon as you can. And that's for everyone else who wants to get a giveaway prize related to Comic-Con. So it seems like you don't have this magazine, which is great, because some people may have it already, because it seems like it's an item that you can get at a Walgreens or something. But I think it's cool because it's very, full of history, full of cool behind-the-scenes photos. Spider-Man Homecoming, Civil War, so they go in depth about how they made the movies, behind-the-scenes shots, everything invested related to the background of how each movie was conceived, with the MCU and how it fit within the other movies in the universe of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, very cool. Thank you, Franco, for adding my Twitter. That's going to be very helpful. Samuel, if you're still here, I have your name written down, so I'll try to get in contact with you as soon as I can. And I will also, this stream will be archived, so I can read the comments once they're put back, once the stream is done, so that way I can mail this to you once the stream is over. But everyone else, don't worry, there's going to be other prizes in store. This is just one of the many ones I have for you guys to get. Again, thank you, Samuel, for your very awesome answer to the question. And I'll be very happy to give you it once the stream's done. So, boom, Samuel Kiriju for the Avengers magazine. I have that written down in my notebook. And I'll be sure to mail it to you as soon as I can. And feel free to contact me as much as you'd like, so that way I can see your address and stuff on Twitter. But yeah, they have a really cool history with kind of an interesting photo. The MCU, relating to all the films and the history of them. So if you're a fan of those movies, I think this will definitely be something that you'll be interested to read into. Because I have it myself, but I haven't been able to read it myself. But sure, so Samuel gets the Avengers magazine from Entertainment Weekly. That's great. Yeah, so that was that. Next up, I think I want to talk about... let's see. I also have this really cool Spider-Man magazine, or a copy of Spider-Man PS4 City at War. So the comic series, and it's the second issue. It's not the first one, but it's just the standard cover of the second issue of Spider-Man PS4 City at War. I guess if we're doing in the realm of magazines, we'll stick with it. So next up on the giveaway list is this, for all you hardcore Spider-Man fans, especially me. I mean, I have one myself. It's right over there, but I got a second one to give away to you guys. is The Ultimate Guide of Spider-Man. So this actually starts from, I believe, the Nicholas Hammond era, the old school Spider-Man show, I believe. Or I guess they start from the Tobey Maguire movies. Contents, Far From Home, beginning. So they dive a little bit into it. They dive into the comics. They dive into the early... there he is. So they dive into Nicholas Hammond briefly from the, the classic OG Spider-Man show, which is... And they also go up to all the behind-the-scenes stuff relating to Tobey Maguire's movies, how the sets were made, how the villains were cast, all that. And if you're a fan of Spider-Man, I definitely think that this will be a very cool item to have at your disposal if you're interested in, stuff regarding the character and the movies and all that, and especially if you're hyped for Far From Home. It doesn't show a lot about that movie because this was actually released before Far From Home to hype people up about that movie. So it says, Far From Home, first look at Far From Home. So it's a preview, and then they kind of discuss on the cover a little bit, or, preview into Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. And, they also showcase a lot of cool pictures of Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. A lot of cool stuff relating to all the movies. My favorite one being Spider-Man 1. The first Tobey Maguire film is my favorite. And, of course, the love interest that Peter has, or just the characters in his life. Aunt May, MJ, Zendaya, as MJ. Doc Ock. Tobey versus Willem Dafoe. Felicity Jones' Black Cat within The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Comic lore. And some Stan Lee tributes. So it's very cool. It's a very cool item relating to Spider-Man. And on the topic of Spider-Man, I'm going to talk about a question that I think you guys should answer relating to the shows, funny enough. Because one thing at Comic-Con is that they had all things Marvel. The shows, movies, cartoons, games, all this stuff. Not just shows like cartoons, but TV shows, animation, shorts, all this stuff. Really cool variation in terms of media. And they have this panel, which I was actually lucky enough to meet Josh Keaton on, the voice of Spider-Man from Spectacular Spider-Man, and Electro from Spider-Man PS4. I met him. He's awesome. He's also the voice of Tony Stark from Iron Man VR, which also, this is not a giveaway, but this is just my autographed lithograph of the Impulse armor from Iron Man VR that I got at Comic-Con, autographed by the main developers. It was very cool to meet them. Iron Man VR is going to be amazing. One of the reasons why is because Josh Keaton's having a blast voicing Tony Stark in this game. And then here's the back, too, of Iron Man VR, just kind of the logo. I know, it's weird. The screen is inverted, so you're seeing it as Nam Norai. Weird. But that is the Iron Man VR Impulse armor design that they autographed for the game. And it was really cool playing it in VR because it feels amazing. And I think it's going to be one of the best VR games that's ever been put to the PlayStation console. Boom. There's Samuel. I see him. He just messaged me on Twitter. There he is. Followed him and retweeted his stuff. That's great. So, for this Spider-Man magazine, which is up for a giveaway, what is it that you want to see from Marvel relating to, if you're even interested in the show, Marvel's Spider-Man, the cartoon, Maximum Venom? Because if you've seen the show, this is the Disney XD cartoon that they've made, and Josh Keaton was at this panel. It was the 10th anniversary, I think, of animation from Marvel with Spider-Man shows, and they were discussing all the previous shows. So the 90s show, Spider-Man Unlimited, the 60s show, they open with the opening theme song of the 60s show, Spider-Man does whatever a spider... I'm going to sing it because it's so dope. But that they open with that, and, we're going to get an update about future seasons, or revive Spectacular for Season 3. No animated shorts of, like, these kids shorts for Lego, or, like, these Marvel Superhero Adventures animated shorts for kids. And then Spider-Man, they were, like, trying to pay tribute to the other shows in the past, and they said, here's the 60s show, here's the 90s show, here's Spider-Man Tenace, like 2 seconds. They said, he had this one on MTV, let's move on. I'm like, as a fan of Tenace, that just crushed my soul. And then they also showed Spectacular Spider-Man, but they had a story of Josh Keaton telling it, but like, this is my first time auditioning for Spectacular Spider-Man. This is how I got the part as Peter Parker. My first day on set recording as Peter Parker for the show, which was very cool. He like chipped his tooth or something, so that was very neat to hear. But not that he got injured, but the fact that he is so invested in the role that he hurt himself by accident, but he wanted to go to record as Spider-Man, period, even though he was injured. So that's how dedicated Josh is to Spider-Man. That's why he's one of the best voice actors for the character. I personally think Yuri's my favorite, for obvious reasons, as you can see behind me. But Josh is a perfect version of Peter Parker. Apparently I'm lagging. That's not good. Really hope that the internet can fix itself. Are we okay? Are we all right, guys? Is the stream still going? I hope so. Yes, it is. Franco Greco, great. Marvel's reporter, did you just say that they are thinking about reviving Spectacular Spider-Man? No, but I feel like they are trying to deter, kind of drive people off from that possibility, because we already got Young Justice season 3, I think, or another season of Young Justice. Teen Titans is supposedly coming back. And people are really disinterested with this Marvel Spider-Man cartoon, Marvel Spider-Man Maximum Venom. I'm not going to watch it. But they said, Josh Keaton would be totally down for another season if they could get the crew back. He loved playing Spider-Man. They have other routes to go to with the story. Norman is dead, but then he's not. He's in disguise. He took a flight somewhere. And Harry is with Gwen, and kind of similar to Spider-Man 1, the ending of that movie in the show, where Norman supposedly died, and then Harry's with Gwen, and he's like, oh, I'm so happy you're here with me, Gwen. I don't know what I'd do without you, because he knows, I think, Peter likes Gwen, but he's keeping her for himself. So, a lot of cool stuff to do, and they had all this stuff planned, like they'd bring Venom back, Carnage, Hydro Man, all these villains, and it just makes me so pissed off that they're doing Marvel's Spider-Man with Disney XD, with Robbie Daymond, who's very cool. I met him in person, but the voice he has as Peter is not my type of Peter Parker I'd like to hear. And the show itself is so badly written, poorly animated, and just not fun to watch, in my opinion. It's kind of annoying. But what the rumor is that they renewed the second half of season 2 to finish it, and then they're gonna make season 3 of Marvel's Spider-Man Maximum Venom, where everyone's gonna get venomized. So like Web of Shadows, where we got symbiote Wolverine, symbiote Black Cat, symbiote villains. Apparently that's gonna be the story arc for this show. Why? They're running out of ideas, apparently. Great. But if the show is done, if they go through the whole season of Maximum Venom, supposedly they might make season 3 of Spectacular. And if the show doesn't do well, then they'll see that, like, you know what? This show kind of sucks. People aren't watching it. Let's go back to what people do want, which is Spectacular Spider-Man. Warboy, the Venomized comic is what they're taking inspiration from. But also, it started really with Web of Shadows. I mean, that game kind of popularized that whole thing where the villains of Spider-Man and the other characters revolving around him get the Venom symbiote on him. They turn evil. They get powers, and it's weird. Yeah, exactly. IJB Gaming. Robbie Daymond is a great voice actor. It's just that the voice direction is not very good. Yes, exactly. I think he's amazing as my boy Goro Akechi from Persona 5 and other anime he's been a part of, but I don't like him as Peter Parker. I'm sorry. But Max Middleman as Harry Osborn's pretty good in the show. But yeah, a question to get this magazine to drag it out. What do you guys want to see in the animated realm the most, or which direction would you like them to go with Marvel's Spider-Man Maximum Venom, the 3rd season of Spider-Man on the Disney XD show? Is it that you want Peter to wear the symbiote, to fight Venom, have Eddie be actually Venom instead of, all these heroes getting Venom? What do you want to see from this show the most? For me, I just want a good story. I just want cool animation, but we're not going to get it because the show doesn't do any good aspects related to that, so I don't know. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and then I will try and give you guys this magazine as quickly as I can. But Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons, I feel like they are going to make the season so stupid and try to make a joke out of it like what they have done with the whole session. I think it means season, but yes. I mean, that's exactly what my problem is with this show. Everything's a joke. There's no stakes. It's not serious. It's not funny. And it's not impactful to Peter and his character and who he interacts with, the other Avengers or his classmates or anything like that. There's nothing. It is nothing. And I'm sorry. It just makes me mad that we can't get a show like the new animated series, my personal favorite, or Spectacular Spider-Man, or the 90s show anymore, because it all has to be centric towards kids or a younger audience, or they have to tone down the stakes and all that. I don't know. It's making me upset. Xavier G, I would also like to see more involvement with Miles because I love the character. That'd be cool. I mean, you know, maybe he might get the Venom symbiote somehow in the show. That'd be dope. Xavier Sandoval, I have a poster of Spider-Man and my parents got it, but it was the only one they had, and it's the 2017 Marvel Spider-Man show. Oh no. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. If you like the poster, that's great. You know, weirdly enough, the promotional art of the show is better than the show itself. Really, really bad marketing on their front, but they knew how bad the show was. That's why the promotional art looks 10 times better than the show itself. So, you know, Disney. Daniel, or Danielle Anzaldi, the main thing is stop connecting the shows. Yeah, the Marvel Spider-Man show with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and all that, they're connecting them. I stopped watching after like the first couple episodes of Season 2. I watched all of Season 1. I really didn't like it. I thought Season 2 might get a bit better. It didn't, and I just stopped watching it. So I know that they're doing Superior Spider-Man in the second half of Season 2, and then Season 3 is all about Venom. Still, I'm not enjoying it. What they did with Spider Island in Season 1, I believe, was awful. It was actual garbage. And I really don't like what they're doing with Doc Ock in the show either. So, I'm upset. Live-action Spider-Gwen show, yay or nay? Yes, Waru Boy, but kind of like that. They said, you know, Sony said possibly that they might make a series, an animated series, thank God, ran by Christopher Miller and Phil Lord, Chris Miller, from Into the Spider-Verse, off of Into the Spider-Verse. So Into the Spider-Verse animated shows, which I really hope happens because I don't want any more of Marvel Spider-Man from Disney XD. Lucky Star Z, I want to see a full reboot of the Disney XD Marvel show. Why? Because the continuity is completely messed up because currently Spidey teamed up with Guardians, but earlier Ultimate teamed up with them. Yeah, it's a mess. Like I said, the show is not doing itself any favors. That is a fact. That is a definite fact. But yeah, let's see, who else? Code of Comics. I want them to make a more organized story. Hopefully they improve animation and make the symbiote look awesome, but it won't happen, even though I wish they'd improve. I agree. Honestly, again, the show could be good if it was put in the right direction, but they're not doing it any favors with the tone they're taking, the animation style. After seeing Into the Spider-Verse, the show makes you want to vomit. You know, the animation style is so poor. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's too late for it. Nearly Legend Gaming. Since it's a Spider-Man show, and I can say that they start off good, but slowly started to go downhill. They added some arcs in Peter's life that happened later on in his life. They're just rushing it. Yeah, exactly. It's too young. Peter's too young to go through some of the stuff he's going through in the show right now. And if he is young, don't make it like it's a younger audience. Make it mature for him instead of making it all like a joke. Mikhail, I'm confused. Are we supposed to talk what we want to see in Spectacular Season 3 or Marvel Spider-Man? Marvel Spider-Man Season 3. Maximum Venom. Spectacular Season 3 could happen. We don't know for sure, though. But, no, we're talking about Marvel Spider-Man on Disney XD, the show. Zero Louie, Tanas needs to get a second season. Damn right. Personally not interested in that show. But Tanas ended in a huge cliffhanger, and the animation could be a lot better. More original villains instead of original or classic villains. Yes, exactly. And the cool thing about Tanas is that the rumor was it started off as a continuation of the Raimi movies because they connected the storyline from the first movie into the show. But supposedly if they got a second season, and that a cool thing because, you know, Peter threw out his costume into the New York harbor. He quit being Spider-Man. If the second season happened, they would have gotten another villain like that of Mysterio or more of Kraven or something like that, maybe Vulture, and bring them into this show, and then Peter would have created his own original suit for the show. So like Spider-Man Unlimited, he had the web cape and all that. That was his own original suit, kind of like Spider-Man 2099, but for Peter. So Peter would have thrown away the Raimi suit and then see that there's still trouble going on in New York, and then make an original Spider-Man suit for the show. Season 2, more villains, cooler animation, better fight. Wasted opportunity, in my opinion. Really sad, but it just hurts that we're getting shows like Marvel's Spider-Man instead of Tenas. So, yes. Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons. That episode when everybody in New York had Spider-Man powers, I feel like they did just that as a joke. They don't care about the show and the characters. 100% agree. You took the words right out of my mouth. I can't even say it, but you're right. Like, honestly, there's no... You can tell if a product has passion or not. Spider-Man PS4 had passion. Into the Spider-Verse had passion. The current comics from Nick Spencer have passion. This show does not. This show does not have a shred of hope or light to it that gets you excited for it because it's Spider-Man. There's nothing to it. And for that, I actually am... again, everyone had great answers too. I really appreciate everyone commenting all your thoughts and expectations for what you want to see for Marvel's Spider-Man Maximum Venom. But Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons did have some very interesting points of what he wanted to see from the show and also what he dislikes from the show as of right now, which is why Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons officially wins this Ultimate Guide to Spider-Man magazine, which shows all the history of Spider-Man's past in the movies, shows, some comic lore, and just also Into the Spider-Verse. Also some Into the Spider-Verse stuff related to making the film and Phil Lord, Chris Miller. So thank you, Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons, for your awesome participation. Again, message me on Twitter. That's the best way to contact me. If I already follow you, just send me an @ and I will try and DM you, and then I can send you or you can give me your address and I can send you the magazine as soon as I can. So magazines, I think, are done. Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons wins the Spidey magazine. Dope. And thank you so much for your answers. All you, not just Matthew, but everyone else involved in the Q&A. Very, very good, deep cut thoughts and what you guys want to see from the show. What's the biggest aspect that you want from the show? What, do you want the show just be canceled? I kind of do. I mean, honestly, I'm not really looking forward to what else is going to happen in the future. I'm not really hyped as much related to it. And again, Franco, my boy, thank you so much for aiding me with connecting people to my Twitter. If it's easier to get in touch with me, it means a lot. I know you're probably... Which, by the way, Franco is amazing, first off, but also he's going to be doing a very cool live stream on his channel, doing a playthrough of Spider-Man PS4 for the 5th time, since there's a total of like 5 saves, or I think 6 save slots, 5 or 6 save slots in Spider-Man PS4, but my boy Franco, who's the best, has done playthroughs with like all the main suits related to Spider-Man PS4, the Advanced suit, Raimi suit, Web suit, Advanced suit, Into the Spider-Verse suit, MCU suits, and he's going to do a live stream wearing the canon suits within Spider-Man PS4, meaning the suits that relate to the game's story and the comics of City at War and Spider-Man Velocity. Like, what we know is that the Advanced suit and the Classic suit and the Undies suit are canon within Spider-Man PS4 story because they relate to parts of the narrative, either as a joke or a serious thing, like the Anti-Ox suit that's made at the end of the game. But also, the Dark suit is a costume that Black Cat makes Spider-Man in the game's story during the side missions. And then the Velocity suit is a variant costume of the Advanced suit that Peter makes in the game, also for the comics, because he has his own comic run now of Spider-Man Velocity. He's going to get it in the future. And it's going to be very cool to see Franco wear these costumes into the game during his playthrough. Would you like me to provide your email as well? Yeah, Franco, that'd be great. It's my first letter of my first name and my last name at gmail.com. So Filarca@gmail.com. That's everybody, you guys watching. If you guys ever want to hit me up related to Spider-Man stuff, or get a a possible giveaway item like a magazine or a sticker or something small or whatever cool, that's the best way to contact me, either on Twitter @EvanFilarca or my email efilarca@gmail.com. And also that's all lowercase Franco if you're trying to connect someone. But yeah, very, very cool from Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons. Thank you for your very heartfelt, in-depth answers to what you would like to see from Marvel Spider-Man Maximum Venom, which I just kind of wanted to be canceled, to be honest. But Beggars can't be choosers, even though Tenace is the greatest and we just want Season 2 or we riot. I'm just kidding. That's just me. I know everyone wants Spectacular Season 3 over Tenace Season 2, but for me, I would choose Tenace Season 2 in a heartbeat because, damn, I love that show. And they just totally glossed over it in the panel at Comic-Con where they were talking about all the history of Spider-Man shows. They glossed over Spectacular and Tenace, and that was a disgrace when I saw that. That was literally upsetting. But yeah, Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons gets the Spider-Man magazine, and then Samuel Kirigu gets the Avengers magazine. So 2 magazines done. That's great. I also have back here, really back here, some comics of these 2, which originally were going to be for the charity, which we never got around to, the charity that Slick Moth Salvage and Iron Gen were trying to connect, playing Injustice 2. These were going to be the prizes for the charity, so whoever donated the most could get individual comics. So Spider-Man City at War issue 2, it's the standard cover, it's not the variant cover or anything, it's just the standard issue of the comic, and Spider-Man Life Story issue 1, yes, which I've read and is pretty good. In my opinion, it gets a bit more subpar as the comic goes on with the other issues, but unlike City at War, which I think gets better with each issue, Life Story is still pretty good. So if you're a fan of either of these, I think you'll be definitely inclined to read them, which is why, in my opinion, I think it's going to be too much of a hassle to try and mail them one or the other, you know? And like the magazine, we talked about Avengers, the Spider-Man magazine for the movies, we talked about the animated show, and this, even though it's 2 comics, I think I will send them as one cohesive package in one delivery. So if you are interested in both of these comics, because the comics are shorter than the magazines, which is also why I think it'd be fair if I mailed them both at a simultaneous singular package, let me know if you're interested. But mainly for this question is, we talked about the game with the Avengers, we talked about Spider-Man in the show, Maximum Venom. I'm not looking forward to it. Not a lot of you guys seem to know about Iron Man VR, and you haven't played it, so it's kind of hard to ask a question about a game that the majority of people haven't played yet or really care about, in all honesty, because it's okay to admit that. If you are excited for Iron Man VR, that's awesome, but for me personally, I really am excited for Iron Man VR. I played the demo, and the trailer, got me excited when I first saw it revealed during the State of Play conference back in early 2019. Iron Man VR, no, it will only be on PSVR, only PlayStation VR. So like Spider-Man PS4, only on PS4. So Iron Man VR is only on the PlayStation VR headset. So I don't think I'll ask a question about Iron Man VR, but I will ask a question about City at War comics. Because so far we have, if I can put these over here, and also, speaking of comics, I also got this amazing variant cover print of David Nakayama's variant cover for City at War of Spider-Man. Freaking breathtaking. I met him at Comic-Con. Absolute genius and super kind-hearted guy. He knows about the Spidey Squad. He's super invested within the game. He loves everything about it. He said I would work on all the variants if it just relates to the advanced suit. So like me, the advanced suit is his favorite Spider-Man suit, and I love the red, the white, and the suit itself. This is not for a giveaway. This is just me because I got autographed from him, which he did for free, by the way. Usually we'd have to pay $10 to get this print, which I did do, but $5 for an autograph. But David, since he knows the Spidey Squad and he loves Spider-Man and the game, he autographed it for free. So again, this game brings people together. It brings people hope, and it brings us closer to loving the character that we all know from the comics into the game, and just how passionate all of us fans are about Spider-Man in general, and just the fact that I get to interact with you passionate Spider-Man fans on a daily basis so I can be able to get stuff like this is a dream come true. So that's why I wouldn't be here without you guys, which is why I want to do these giveaways, so that makes it more fun for you guys to enjoy. But that's not for a giveaway, sorry, but I just wanted to show you guys from the comics how cool it looks from City at War. And that's also from City at War, which also I have some other comics here related to the game as well, which also come from directly City at War, either variant covers or whatever it is. But at Comic-Con, I also got this masterpiece of the classic Spider-Man comic rendition from the, 60s era, where Spider-Man is facing off against Doc Ock, but they did it in the way of the game. So it's William Sawyer's is Doc Ock and Yuri Lowenthal's Spider-Man, advanced suit Spider-Man, facing off against each other on Oscorp Tower at the end of the game. You see the advanced suit kind of front logo here too as the little comic variant print. It's amazing, honestly. It's like the coolest variant cover that they've made for issue 5. He says, America's most exciting superhero captured by the world's most dreaded supervillain. You are helpless, Spider-Man. I warned you that the power of Dr. Octopus is far greater than yours. A book-length super thriller, Spider-Man faces his most powerful foe, Dr. Octopus, in Spider-Man City at War issue 5. So again, it's the sickest thing. It's not autographed or anything, and it's the same exact issue as the standard issue 5 cover, which is this one right here. That's the standard cover of issue 5 of City at War. And it's the same book inside. It just, the cover looks different. But this was a Comic-Con exclusive. But this is the standard one, which still looks breathtaking. This is by Clayton Crane. And then this one is made by a Marvel artist, Scan, S-K-A-N, Scan, who made this only at Comic-Con, and it's breathtaking. I also got the pixelated variant cover of issue 5, where we see the little arcade version of the advanced suit, anti-ox suit, velocity suit, undies suit, and negative zone suit. All the canon suits, funny enough, Franco, if you're still watching, all the canon suits within Spider-Man PS4's story. Negative, which we do see if you're wearing, Spider-Man goes negative in the scene where Mr. Negative is in his mind, for a brief second, but it still counts. Undies suit, the Scorpion hallucination. Advanced suit's the advanced suit. Anti-ox suit from the end of the game. And then velocity suit, which is confirmed to be canon. So, please select a player. Spider-Man, City at War, or for some reason it's inverted. So, Nam, Red, Ips, Ra, Ta, Yitz. I don't know why it's inverted, but you guys get the drill. And then this is a variant comic cover of Black Cat issue 1, her brand new standalone series, but off Spider-Man PS4. So again, you see the Black Cat comic font, but then it's based off of Spider-Man. Off the game, Erica Limbeck's Black Cat, Amy Johnston's Black Cat, the mocap actress who played Black Cat in Spider-Man PS4, and it's a variant cover of her first issue in her own series, but with the Spider-Man PS4 design, which I love. This is the right way to read it, but then this is, if you want to look at it, it's, horizontal, which is awesome. And, this is just a really awesome set of comics to have personally, and I'm very honored to have been able to pick these up for myself at Comic-Con, but you guys still have a chance to get the first issue, the first issue of Spider-Man Life Story, and then the second issue of City at War, if you want to catch up. And then also, for me as well, they had this really awesome series. I know some people are divided on it a little bit. Me personally, I think it's a great narrative, and it dives into a very cool aspect on Felicia Hardy's character. And even though I don't like this writer in, most of the time, I think the way... I know, Franco, no Stephanie Tyler cover. Shame. I'm going to burn the whole lot. There's no Stephanie Tyler or John Bubniak covers, so we riot. No, I'm kidding. But that's totally accurate. But no, this is another comic that I personally love. It's not related to Spider-Man PS4. Spider-Man and Black Cat, The Evil That Men Do. And yes, you could say it's off the covers, which you could say so, but I also just really like the story that they took with Black Cat and her background and how Kevin Smith portrays Felicia Hardy in this story. I wanted the trade paperback. They didn't have that at Comic-Con, sadly, so these are just all these separate issues of the story itself. It's a really dark story, but I think they really do something with Felicia Hardy's character that is bold. It's very, very bold with what they do with Felicia Hardy's character in this narrative, and you also get Daredevil and Nightcrawler appear in this series as well. Boom, right there, Nightcrawler. But I love it. I personally love what this series does with Black Cat. What comes afterwards is a bit weird, but the chemistry alone that Spider-Man and Black Cat have in this series is some of the best that's ever been put to a comic, in my opinion. They're so flirtatious with each other. They have a history. Black Cat, as we all originally know, didn't like Peter Parker. She only liked Spider-Man. She only liked the mask, not the man under the mask. So in this story, they've been apart for a while. They haven't interacted with each other in quite a long time. And it connects with some other, amazing Spider-Man issues that happened in the lore at the time. But it really does a good job of having Peter Parker and Felicia Hardy rekindle their romance. And even though in the story, Peter's married to MJ and he's dedicated to her, they rekindle a lost friendship that was gone prior, to this event, what they deal with in the story. And you get a really emotional and tragic backstory to Felicia Hardy, who became the Black Cat in this book. And it makes you feel way more connected to Felicia Hardy than ever before, and hence why it's one of my favorite stories related to her personally and the connection she has with Spider-Man and herself. And she grows as a person. She's not just this cat burglar in it for the thrill, only liking Spider-Man for being a superhero anymore, like what she was in the past when she started off as Black Cat. She's older, more experienced. She's realizing what she did in the past was like super childish of her. She's like, wait, I love Peter for who he is and for being Spider-Man. And she's also jealous because he's with MJ, but then they have some really great chemistry with each other during the story, which is awesome. And I really, I forget what the story is after that, after the evil Ant-Men do, but I know it continues, and then we get, spoilers, the second or another incarnation of Mysterio, Francis Clum, instead of Quentin Beck, because I think he was gone at the time. But I love it. I love that comic, and I really am happy that I got each individual issue at Comic-Con. Let's see. But yes, we're moving on to the main giveaway now of the comics with Spider-Man City of War issue 2 and Spider-Man Life Story issue 1. So these, again, will both be sent to the winner in one package. So it's not two separate things, it's one singular package. And the question I have for you guys is, if you have been reading the stories for Spider-Man City at War, we have Spider-Man City at War, and upcoming next, Spider-Man Velocity, which is going to tell the story of how the Velocity suit was made in Spider-Man PS4 universe. What's the narrative relevance of that suit within the game? And for this question, I want to know, since we have the advanced suit in his main story of City at War, we're getting Spider-Man Velocity, and they also said there's going to be other suits in the future that they might make into comics. Possibly like Anti-Ock, or who knows, maybe Undies or whatever. But for that reason, with all these suits in mind, what is your favorite suit within Spider-Man PS4, and which suit would you like to see be put into a comic story, and why? Because again, they are making a story off of the Velocity suit. They're already doing it off the Advanced suit, which is great. I think the artwork in these comics specifically look fantastic with what they do with Spider-Man's suit in some shots that are reminiscent from the comics or just from the game. I think they look great, and I love the narrative that they're taking, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the next issue, which is the final issue, issue 6, where we're finally going to get Spider-Man in the Anti-Ock suit versus Doc Ock, and if they're going to do anything different compared to how they do it in the game, or maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, that they talked about, Swarm is in this universe, and they discussed, like, we could possibly add him maybe down the line in a future project, either the comics or the sequel to the game already. Again, what if they, in the next issue, issue 6 of City at War, they give a bit more depth to Harry as Venom. At the end, we see of the game, Harry in this green tank with the black symbiote around him, supposedly the symbiote most likely going to become Venom in the sequel of the game, which I'm beyond hyped for, and I cannot wait to see how that's done in the story, given how great the first game story was. And yeah, the black suit's going to have a major impact to Peter in his life, Miles too, probably if he gets it. And, Black Cat's story was already kind of finished in the first game, so I don't know if they'll bring her back. Same thing with Silver Sable. So I think they'll give room for other villains like that of Kraven, Lizard, Mysterio, Venom, Green Goblin, all these other villains. I think that'd be cool to see. And I definitely think, a comic based off the story of the game, expanding on that with Velocity, who knows? Maybe they might expand teases of the sequel, like here's Swarm, or, again, they said that there's a poltergeist going on in Spider-Man Velocity, so is Mysterio involved? Is Wraith involved? Because Wraith was teased in
the Silver Lining DLC for Spider-Man, so she'll be probably in the sequel too. So we might get a first look at her in this comic series, which is why I'm very excited to see where they go with the next issue of City at War and then the other series of Velocity. But let's see. Waterboy, my boy, says, my favorite suit in Spider-Man PS4 is the Anti-Ox suit because I love the black and yellow. Plus, the suit gives me a Final Showdown vibe, and the game pulls it off really well. Absolutely. It looks gorgeous. Besides the advanced suit, it's one of my favorite suits in the game. I really want its Cos Baby and a hot toy of it ASAP. It may be hard because it's metal, but they did the Iron Spider suit as a hot toy, and yet that's a DLC costume. So they should do the Anti-Ox suit instead of that suit, but it still looked amazing as the hot toy at the convention itself, which I did a video on if you guys want to see. I toured the little booth section of the hot toys for Spider-Man PS4, which showed all the suits from the game, including the movie suits from Far From Home, on this one display stand, and it looked gorgeous. And I really hope they do other hot toys in the future of like Anti-Ock, Dark Suit, that'd be cool, the Dark Suit, the wrestling suit. I really like the game's wrestling suit. I know people are a bit indifferent towards it. I really like it. And that's also canon too, Franco. The wrestling suit's canon because it's the Insomniac version of the wrestling suit, even though it is technically the Ultimate Comics wrestling suit. But still, if you look at the Crusher Hogan poster in Peter's room, he's wearing the wrestling suit in the suit selection. So it's technically canon, which is great. Nearly Legend Gaming. Speaking of Miles, I know that he isn't Spider-Man yet, but I would love to see Miles in his full Spider-Man suit in the comics, hinting at the sequel of the game. That'd be cool, like a Miles comic or a Black Cat comic or a Mary Jane comic, Aunt May comic. I don't know, but that could be very interesting. Yeah, like they, I don't know in issue 6 if they'll go over the DLC, but they will, discuss the primary narrative that took place in Spider-Man PS4 relating to Doc Ock, and then hopefully again the tease, the stinger of Harry possibly being Venom, and then Miles getting his spider powers, which would be great. Spider-Mom, God, I know the comic has been made already and it isn't a main story suit, but I want to see them bring Spidey Clan suit into a series. They could do so much with it. That's a very cool point. That'd be very cool. The Mangaverse Spider-Man, the Spider Clan suit, that'd be a cool choice. NBW_Xavius says, I'd like to see the black and red Black Widow suit, so the dark suit, become a comic, which is my favorite, especially at night, where the red shadows nicely over a comic like the Anti-Ock Spidey suit. Yeah. Dark suit would be dope. I'd love to see that. Spidey Ghost again. The dark suit needs his own comic series with Black Cat. That'd be really cool, teaming up with Black Cat in the dark suit. If Velocity suit can't have his own comic, so can the dark suit. I agree. Who knows? Negative suit. I don't know. Maybe they could do some storyline with him wearing the Negative Zone Spider-Man suit. That'd be very interesting. I'd love to see a story on the classic suit, says Lucky Star Z, and my idea would tell the Spider-Man PS4 origin story in comic form, and we can then see how he crafted his classic suit from the game. That'd be cool. That'd be actually very cool. I would love to see the origin in this universe. What was the spider like? It was a radioactive spider, we know that, but what was it like? Was he with anyone, in school, like Deborah Whitman maybe, or, Gwen Stacy, or Mary Jane? I don't know. Like, I would love to see the origin of That's a great answer, Lucky Star Z, actually. That's a great one. Mikhail, it would be interesting if he actually wears the Anti-Ock suit after the story, and the comic shows him going through everyday stuff, but hence the ending, things are different, and we see him dealing with the aftermath of Doc Ock. That'd be cool. Code of Comics, I would love to see them do a mini-series of every suit in the game, and then finally do it with their own Spider-Verse. Just for fun with Sam Raimi, Advanced Suit, Spider-Punk, Ghost Spider, and etc. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Kinda, though, like Spider-Geddon, in a way, but I get what you mean. Focus more on Spider-Man PS4 than the wider Spider-Verse. That's a great answer. So far, I think Lucky Star Z has the best answer so far with the classic suit storyline with his origin. I actually really want to see that because we have the prequel novel of Hostile Takeover, which is a novel, not a comic, which discusses like the past 8 months of him being Spider-Man. He's been Spider-Man for 8 years in the comics, in the game, but in the Hostile Takeover prequel novel, I think they go back like 8 months before the beginning of the Spider-Man PS4 story and then discuss like him interacting with Yuri Watanabe for the first time and facing off against Echo and Ghost Spider, which were not in the game, but they were in the prequel novel, which is very cool. Nea Moreno, I would love the negative suit because I wonder how Peter would act. Would he still be good, or maybe he would even kill? I just wonder. I think that would be a good story. Yeah, like, you know, the black suit, essentially, like Mr. Negative in the boss battle, the first technical boss battle with him, where they're on the truck, and then he's like, you know, put on the mask, join us, and he's trying to make him evil, like in the comics, which have been very cool. And we were all thinking that because, I mean, there's a Funko Pop of him. There's a Negative Zone Advanced Suit Spider-Man Funko Pop from the game. And surely I thought, well, if there's a Funko Pop of him and they're making him this big because it got leaked, surely there's going to be a story in the game where Peter is evil for a time and he might get some better powers. But no, it was just an alternate suit with the suit power, the Negative Blast. And then that teased for the sequel, though, that Peter will become evil with the black suit. So I agree, though. A negative story, Nea Moreno, would be very cool to see how they do that. Coda Comics, Tenas plus Spidey PS4 crossover, we riot. That's the best answer so far. Mental Gamer is here, everybody. Definitely go subscribe to him. He's awesome, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to interact with you often, my man, but keep up the awesome stuff. You do great work, and your fan art, too, is excellent. I'm surprised no one has suggested a comic for the Undies suit. I said it. I don't think anyone would buy it, but yeah, Undies suit is a possibility. Maybe like one issue spin-off of him wearing the Undies suit. That's the ending of issue 6 of City at War, is him wearing the Undies suit and just going to MJ's place. Who knows? No, I'm kidding. But, yeah, Nearly Legend Gaming. Having Peter explaining to Miles why he needs the special lenses for his enhanced senses would be interesting. You explaining how the suit works for his powers. That's the MCU. In the, game, he doesn't really need... The lenses are just there to add to the detail of the suit, the textures, and I guess possibly zoom in. But like in the MCU, he needs the lenses to focus his spider sense because he's young. But Spider-Man, he's experienced. He knows what's going on. And Jacinda Chu herself said there's no gameplay purpose for the lenses on the advanced suit or any of the suits that have moving lenses. It's just a detail that Peter made for his suit as a cool cosmetic feature. Franco, I would buy so many copies of the Undies suit comic. You bet we would. Matthew Hufford Simmons, hey Evan, thanks for the giveaway prize. I tweet you on Twitter. Thank you, dude. I see your DM too. Awesome. I'll message you later. Mikhail, what if Peter continues to wear the Oh, you already said that. Yeah, great suggestion with the Antioch suit after the story. Zavia J, I would like to see them make a comic on the homemade suit from from Far From Home or from the wrestling suit from the comic, from the game. Homemade suit, because even in the movie, you don't really get to see what Spider-Man has been doing until... Oh, so you do mean the MCU version. They did, actually. I think they did make a comic of Spider-Man in the homemade suit or in the Stark suit, I think, before or during the events of Civil War. So you could check that out, but mainly for the game. Xavier G. Ingram, yo, what if we got the Negative Zone suit where Peter was a bit off or more of an anti-hero? Yeah, like what someone else said. Yeah, that'd be crazy if we got that. It's already in the comics, but all new, all different suit would be cool to see, and I love what they would do with that awesome suit. That'd be cool. Yeah, but yeah, he has his own, unique storyline from the comics. But anyways, guys, I think the main winner of this particular question of both the Spider-Man City at War comic as well as Spider-Man Life Story Issue 1 is Lucky Star Z. Because I really do like that idea of the origin story in a comic form. That's... Honestly, I think I would take that over the Velocity comic, because I'm very interested to see where they're going to go with the Velocity suit. But I don't think it would be as cool as to actually see a younger Peter Parker in this universe. High school Peter Parker, crushing on Mary Jane, getting bit by a radioactive spider, facing off against the Shocker, because he said, oh, Shocker was like the first bad guy I took on, really early in my career. And also Vulture, I believe, too, like, oh, how many times have we done this dance, Vulture? So, like the classic comics, yeah, like Vulture, like Chameleon was the first official villain Spider-Man faced off against the comics. Vulture was technically the first super villain with powers, actual, like the flying, to have Spider-Man go up against. So I would love to see that. Spider-Man in his early days. I know for a fact Carlos Escobosa, my main man, story-splaining and the Initiative YouTube channel with the Avengers Project videos, he really wants actually a prequel video game of Spider-Man where he actually puts up the backpacks on parts of the city. A video game about Spider-Man in the past of this universe. Not just a comic, but a video game. So he's going all in with the earlier days because of how much he loves this universe's version of Spider-Man. And I do too, but I think a comic series, the origin of Spider-Man PS4, would be awesome. And I totally agree with that. So again, Lucky Star Z, great job with your answer. I really do appreciate your description of what you would like to see for it and in terms of the comics. And I'm really happy you enjoyed the game's origin story as much as I did. And I know all you did too. And thank you all for your answers as well. But I think Lucky Star Z had the best answer related to that. But yeah, thank you, Franco. Lucky Star Z, please tweet to me on Twitter. DM me. That'd be the best way to contact me, and I can get your address, and then I can mail it to these two comics to you as soon as you'd like. Lucky Spider-Man City at War issue 2 and Life Story issue 1. I know it's not issue 1 of City at War. I don't even know if you have the comic, but it's not a variant cover or anything. It's just the standard comic of both of these. But hopefully you don't own these issues yet, so hopefully that would be a good thing to give to you as a prize. I know it's not as big as the magazines, but still, these are straight from Comic-Con too, so they should be fun to actually, no, that's not right. These are from the charity that we were going to do a while ago, but they are the same issues that they had at Comic-Con. Just not the variant covers, but the standard stuff. So, thank you, Lucky Star Z, which I'll write in my handy-dandy notebook. Lucky Star Z as the winner for the Spider-Man comics. Great. So, kind of 2 for the price of 1. In that area. One would say that Lucky Star Z is very lucky. Xavier, perfection. Utter perfection. Top tier pun. Comedy genius. Let's see. Do you know when Marvel's Avengers will be available for pre-order on the PS Store? No, I do not, but it is available for pre-order now at your GameStop, you know, at your local gaming store. And you can pre-order the collector's edition. Or just say to your, register, cash register attendee vendor at GameStop or whoever, say, hey, I want to pre-order the Avengers game. Can I pre-order the collector's edition? Or can you upgrade my pre-order to the collector's edition as soon as they reveal it? And they should do that for you. Again, I pre-ordered the game to get the early beta access, but I'm not pre-ordering the collector's edition yet. So far, I don't know for sure, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get the collector's edition yet. I mean, hopefully the Steelbook looks cool and all that. And I just hope that they do a good job with what comes else with the collector's edition for this game. Really important question, too. Mutant Mayhem, is delivery paid for? 100% yes. I will be paying for the shipping. I'll be paying for the mailing, the packaging, all that stuff. I'll be paying for all of your presents, giveaway items, so you don't have to worry about a single penny to be spent. Just look into your mailbox as soon as this stream is done, probably in the next coming days. If you live across, not in the United States, if you're overseas, that might take a while longer. But I will be paying for everything shipping-wise, so you don't have to worry about that. That's a good question. Hello from UK, by the way, Red Dragon. Hello. What's going on, man? Thanks for watching. Hope you guys are all enjoying the stream. I know it's kind of laid back and just talking about stuff, and it's not about Spider-Man PS4 in terms of the game or news or anything, but I'm just having fun talking to you guys because it's really fun when I get to interact with all you amazing people. Matthew Hall Fitzsimmons, I hope the Avengers Project game that Captain America will have a fight with Taskmaster. That way he fought Bucky and Winter Soldier. That would be awesome. That would be cool. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so both magazines are done. The Spider-Man magazine, the Avengers Endgame magazine, and these 2 comics are done. So that is awesome. And I also have my, lithograph, autograph things from Comic-Con from the artists, David Nakayama, Adi Granov, Bill Roseman, Tim Sang. So all these, I gotta move this. My lithographed Iron Man prints, which look fantastic. My Avengers print, which again, it's inverted for some reason, but that's for, which again, really disappointed. Iron Man VR suit, literally is miles better than the Avengers Iron Man suit, in my opinion. I don't know why they kind of dropped the ball on Iron Man specifically, but in my opinion, the Iron Man VR suit, and it's a VR game, so you're only in first person, you're not going to be able to really look at the suit too much because it's in first person, looks phenomenal. And I really hope that maybe it's featured as an alternate suit in the Avengers game later on, because it's gonna have PS4 content, exclusive to the PS4. Whether or not that's Spider-Man or the early beta or Iron Man VR tie-ins, we don't know, but I'm really looking forward to the game because main thing, settle it right here and now. They officially confirmed that Iron Man VR and the Avengers is not connected. So Iron Man VR's Iron Man is a different Iron Man from the Avengers Project's Iron Man. However, they never said that with Spider-Man PS4 and the Avengers. The only thing we've seen, which I hate it when these websites say, it's confirmed, it's not connected. No, it's not, because we don't know for sure. If anything, there's now more points that imply that the games are connected, because they said that there is going to be PS4 content and A-Day on the Golden Gate Bridge. Taskmasters fought the Avengers, and Spider-Man said that they're on the West Coast, the Avengers. 2 points directly connecting to Spider-Man PS4, and Insomniac never flat out said, oh, no, Spider-Man is its own thing. We're not part of the Avengers Project universe. Crystal is doing their version of the Avengers, and we were doing our version of Spider-Man. They never said that. All they said is that they are super excited to see what Crystal Dynamics is working on for the Avengers. They never, ever said that Spider-Man is not connected. So that gives me even more purpose to indicate that they are in the same universe. And also, Scott Amos, who's the head of Crystal Dynamics, who I've got to meet a couple times now, once at E3 and the other time at Comic-Con, I asked him up front, what are you guys planning to do with the PlayStation stuff? And Noah Hughes, actually, I interviewed him, so we got the early beta, and why was it important to have this for the PS4 audience only? And he's like, well, the beta is a great way to have people experience the game first initially and then get their impressions whether or not they want to, fully invest themselves in it, which I really applaud them for giving people an early insight to the game, playing it with a beta on the PS4, which is great. But then he's like, well, as for the other stuff, it's not the future yet, so I can't say anything, but just, stay tuned. And I was like, okay, that's fair, for sure. And that, that outright doesn't confirm anything relating to Spider-Man. That's just him saying stay tuned for a future update, which is fine. Then, when I but I just saw Scott Amos from Crystal Dynamics at E3 and at Comic-Con twice. I was like, I'm really looking forward to the game, Scott. It's going to be great. I'm really excited to see what's going to come next for the Avengers. And he's like, oh yeah, us too. And I think you'll really like the PS4 content on the way. And I literally almost had a panic attack when he said that to me, because he knows about this, about Spider-Man PS4, about the Spidey Squad, about the fans. And he's like, I think you're really going to like the PS4 stuff. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. I'm just kidding. He's super, one of the nicest guys, but I'm like, he's teasing right in my face. And I'm like, I can't say anything because I know I can't flat out ask, will Spider-Man be in this game? Because I know he won't answer it because it's a secret. But he's just saying, I think you'll really like what's in store. And I'm freaking out too much. Already, again, Game of the Year quality, that what they're saying, really hope so. But if Spider-Man's in this game, and also all I want is Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker, Nolan North as Iron Man, and Troy Baker as Bruce Banner to talk about science in a cutscene. That's all I want, is for them to interact in one scene, and it'd be dope. I can't wait. Honestly, I actually cannot wait to see what is going on with this game. And fingers crossed it's Spider-Man. Mainly, it's Spider-Man from Spider-Man PS4. If not, it's okay, because the game will still be cool on its own just with the Avengers. They don't even need Spider-Man at this point, because the Avengers are so profitable that people will buy the game regardless because of it just simply being the freaking Avengers. But I think if Spider-Man was on it, I think that would add icing on the cake, and it would also officially confirm the Marvel Gaming Universe, what I've been craving for ever since the announcement of Spider-Man PS4 in 2016. So I'm excited for that. But anyways, guys, that was the two magazines and 2 comics that I gave away. Now, I've been thinking about this particular stuff. So this is a kind of an oddball one. Just a jack of all trades. And this was where I was walking around Comic-Con. I was looking at all the stuff they had, and I was just walking from panel to panel, booth to booth, and I am, invested in this myself, but there's no room to put it for me. Given the art I already have to hang up with the Avengers and Spider-Man and Iron Man VR, there's no room for me to put this, and I don't really have enough time to read all these, but they're not really, comics like City at War or Life Story. They're more like insights and memorabilia items from Marvel's booth at San Diego Comic-Con of 2019. So at their booth each year at Comic-Con, they always give away free stuff. They always give away cool items related to the Marvel brand. And it could be, comic previews, little posters, some stickers and all that. And that's essentially what this is. And I was thinking, should I just give like one thing individual and all that? But that would be too much on my front to kind of manage everyone's addresses for one simple thing, tiny sticker for one person, a comic for another, a poster for another. So I'm just going to give all this stuff as one singular package. I know, Sucky UEM fam, I really want that Marvel's Avengers poster. Sorry, you can't have it. I mean, they might have that on eBay. If you look on eBay, someone might be selling it, but I'm gonna keep it because I'm invested within the Avengers game as of right now, and also Laura Bailey knows about the Spidey Squad, so I'm already crying at that point. But I really hope that the future of what comes next with the Avengers really gets people excited. But anyways, this is not about the Avengers. This is just about Marvel in general, and this is about comics, stickers, and posters for Marvel from their booth. So again, this is just a random amount of memorabilia from the Marvel booth. It was all free. They gave it to me for free as like thank you for coming to our booth and attending Comic-Con, the 50th anniversary of Comic-Con. And this is just a random lot of stuff. And I checked in with some of the other, Spidey Squad members, Spidey Bugle, Vigilante Spider, and Franco. They all said that it would be most, best used for a giveaway instead of sending it to them, because I already sent some of the guys some other goodies, which definitely be on the lookout for. But this is just random stuff. If you're a Marvel fan, if you're a fan of any one of these characters or anything related to the brand, I think you'll get a cake of just memorabilia pieces you can either give to someone you know, or if you're invested in it yourself, it'd be cool. So first off is just a poster, big card of Fantastic Four. I believe it's like the newest run, because I believe Dan Slott is working on it. So I know a lot of people are mad with Dan Slott right now, but this is kind of the artwork for the Fantastic Four. If I can get a good shot of it, sorry, but that's it. Fantastic Four issue 1. Reed Richards, Ben Grimm, Susan Storm, and Johnny Storm, Mr. Fantastic, The Thing, Invisible Woman, and Human Torch. And then on the back, Marvel's First Family makes their fantastic return in this long-awaited and fan-demanded series, but the reunion won't go smoothly with a mysterious cosmic threat looming on the horizon. It's going to take the full combined might of the Fantastic Four to save reality itself. So again, classic Fantastic Four story. Nothing really too exciting, but the art's cool. I think their costumes look cool, kind of more modernized take on the classic Fantastic Four suits. So if you're excited about that, definitely, get hyped. Next is Absolute Carnage. A preview of it, though. It's just like a big Marvel comic preview of what's coming in the coming months related to Marvel and their comics. This is, if I can put this down, this is Absolute Carnage. I think this is what Chip Zdarsky or Donny Cates, I think, one of the two. The current Venom writer, I think, is working on this. Venom by Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman, J.P. Mayer, and Frank Martin. That's the Venom series that they have going on right now. But this is Absolute Carnage. I think this is like the follow-up series and stuff. So they have, crazy, gory-ish artwork of Carnage. I think I haven't kept up on my comics, but I think the plot of this is that Carnage is trying to kill all previous symbiote hosts to try and be the only symbiote host left, I guess. I don't know. And I guess it's Cletus Cassidy or something. I'm not too sure. But it's a preview of that. Yeah, there you go. How about a little Carnage? So Maximum Carnage is still my favorite Carnage series of all time. Nothing can top that, in my opinion, when it comes to Carnage. So this is some art of a preview of Absolute Carnage in this book. They also have stuff wow, really cool artwork of Absolute Carnage as well right here. Going in depth, I think Cletus is trying to kill a bunch of people as Carnage. And we also got some Spider-Man Miles action going on here. Spider-Man interacting with Miles in the same universe now, because, you know, the 616 and the Ultimate Universes merged. I haven't kept up with in comics in ages, you guys, so I'm all lost. But got my boy, Shocker, Herman Schultz, represent. Not the video game version, you know, just Shocker, but I still love Shocker as a villain. I think he's great. Yeah. Cool artwork with Peter and Miles fighting Shocker. I'm not sure if this also relates to Absolute Carnage, but it's cool nonetheless. So that's also like a small comic relating to the storyline. We also have that Fantastic Four, and then Avengers. So the modern take on Marvel's team of Avengers within the comics. We got Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, Thor, Blade, Black Panther, Iron Man, and Captain America, and Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, so that's interesting. Yeah, so again, just some small comics that I don't know are out yet, or maybe they're out now when they revealed it at Comic-Con, so now it's out to the public. But this was just from the Marvel booth directly, so directly from their convention center placement, which is pretty cool. You got some shots of Iron Man and the other heroes teaming up in space, going off against some aliens or something. I'm not really sure what the storyline. It looks like they're in Asgard or Helheim or Muspelheim or something like that. One of the realms, you know. A little bit of Logan action, some X-Men stuff going on here too. It's pretty cool. So just a lot of comic stuff, you know, panels, Wolverine. Here's Wolverine suiting up, looking dope. And also blood and gore, or just violence of sorts. So looking dope. Light's kind of in the way. And that's Wolverine, looking cool. So, yeah, just, you know, comic with Avengers, Wolverine, all sorts of stuff to get you excited. So those are the three I have here. Let me put them aside for now, just to keep track. This is actually pretty cool. This is the bio of, I believe, a comic preview first and foremost, of X-Men, and also then you get a bio, like rundown of each specific character or storyline that's been occurring recently. So we got Hickman's greatest hits. In preparation for Jonathan Hickman's long-awaited return to Marvel, catch up on some of the most thrilling, momentous, and indelible moments he's ever written. So we got the Hydra infiltration, the Future Foundation storyline, the Incursions, the Infinity storyline with Thane, you know, Thanos' son, and Secret Wars, of course. So there's a lot going on here. You know, House of X is kind of previewed in here too, providing some, you know, background about what's going on, providing power of the X, or providing power to the X for the X-Men themselves with that storyline, and some other previews in most important moments in X-Men history. So a little bit of a guide for really cool moments in X-Men storylines. Yeah, Mikhail, Thanos does have a son, and I won't say anything, but he's kind of been featured in something really recently related to Marvel video games. So that's pretty cool. This is cool. Mark Brooks drew from decades of X-Men storytelling and included dozens of Easter eggs while drawing this House of X powers and X-Men teaser image. So this was kind of like the initial phase of trying to showcase all the X-Men at once. Lots of X-Men on this. And just kind of pay homage to the comics from the past and what's coming in the future. So Emma Frost, I almost said Emma Stone. Emma Frost, Rogue, Wolverine, Storm, Beast, Nightcrawler, Professor X, Dazzler, Bishop, Jubilee, you know, a bunch of people. So there's a lot of cool concepts and stuff. And a small preview comic of House of X too. So that's pretty cool. Put that back there. This is interesting. I've seen some advertisements on YouTube recently, is The Freshmen. I think it's a newer comic that Marvel's making. Marvel and Axe team up with The Freshmen. So we got Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Iron Man, Thor, and then the Freshmen themselves. So The Freshmen guest starring the Avengers. So I don't know who they are. I guess they're like, I want to say like My Hero Academia, maybe, like heroes in school, learning to be heroes. So that's kind of dope. I don't know their hero names. But still, you kind of get like a cool artistic graffiti-esque style. Yeah, Waterboy, the deodorant comic. That's right. The team of deodorant heroes. Evan, are you still deciding if you're going to get a Switch for Smash and MUA 3? I mean, I entered a sweepstakes. There's actually a current sweepstakes going on on Twitter from Nintendo. So enter here, put the hashtag My Ultimate Alliance Team and Nintendo sweepstakes to possibly get a chance at winning a Nintendo Switch and a copy of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. So I'm like, that's perfect. I want it, but I don't know if I want to pay for it. So I might get it, but I don't know if I'll pay a lot of money to get a whole nother console just for a couple of games, you know? Whereas PS4 has all the games I love playing, you know, all the PS4 exclusives are fantastic. Uncharted, Infamous, God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, like all these games are only on the PS4 and it's fantastic. So I don't need to go anywhere in terms of getting another console. But yeah, but this looks cool. I don't know. I think that's Claw. Yeah, so Claw facing off against the Freshmen and some Avengers. I have no idea what the storyline is, but if you're interested in it, that's cool. And I think it's something new from Comic-Con that they were kind of discussing. Reminds me a little bit of the Runaways, but less running away and more fighting the heroes with the Avengers. And yeah, here it is. Save the world, stop the stink. Axe's freshest fragrance yet. The Freshman. Oh boy. So yeah, it's just a comic for a product of Axe body spray. Sadly, I don't use Axe body spray, but that's not stopping me from reading the comic. And then you know, something smaller, but Star Wars. Got a Star Wars comic from Marvel, you know, because Marvel does publish Star Wars stuff. Again, I'm not the biggest Star Wars buff. So, the newest movie, though, my dad is more of a Star Wars fan than I am. You get a little bit of a backstory to the amusement park I think they made, the recent amusement park at Disneyland or something, Galaxy's Edge. The recent Star Wars movies, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and now The Rise of Skywalker, I'm not into. I haven't been into them. I'm not digging them as much. I love the classic, you know, original trilogy. The prequels were fine, and the newer movies are just whatever, but I'm not really invested in it as much as my dad is, for example. So, Star Wars, you know, cool. You know, a favorite, you know, Darth Vader is my favorite Jedi, Sith, you know, whoever. But, yeah, you know, Luke, TIE fighters, space action, fighting. Looks cool. If you're a fan of Star Wars and other comics, that should be fun. This is cool. Another like that Fantastic Four cover piece. Spider-Man, Young Guns, the next generation of elite artists by Aaron Cooter. Is just Spider-Man doing a thwipping pose. And it's a cool thing you could just kind of hang on your wall, for example. You know, in the background here. If you have, you know, a lot of stuff on your wall in your room, just hanging up on your wall. And then the background, Aaron Cooter's first Marvel comic. I'm sure it wasn't my first Marvel comic, but the first one that pops to my mind is a collection of Marvel team-ups. This wasn't a reprinting of the Marvel book titled Marvel Team-Up, but a collection of some of the first times various characters had met. So it gives you some history about the artist himself, Aaron Cooter. Cool Spider-Man art, you know, in my opinion, he's just doing some kind of pose in the air, in the sunset. Looks dope. Very simple art, but again, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, this should be cool. And then finally, kind of cool, is Entertainment Earth. They had a booth at Comic-Con, and they had a magazine displaying all of the upcoming Funko Pops, PVC gallery statues, giant statues, Kotobukiya figures, which I'm really starting to get into. They made a Kotobukiya figure of Miles and Spider-Man Noir from Into the Spider-Verse, which looked amazing. And I really want the one that they have off Black Cat, because it looks great. But also, they had a preview of Spider-Man from the one I just unboxed, the Advanced Suit Spider-Man statue. And just a bunch of other cool items that are coming in the coming months, and Funko Pops and statues and other stuff relating to collectibles and items that you may want to look into if you want to start collecting comics or statues or Funko Pops. But for here, you know, I unboxed it the other day, the PVC statue for Spider-Man's Advanced Suit, but it says, based on the video game, precariously perched atop a spider logo, Spider-Man prepares to leap in this super detailed 9-inch tall statue. Go get it now, because it was limited, and it still is limited. So they have really cool ones off Supergirl, Batman, Aquaman, some Disney stuff, Muppets, DC, anime, you know, cartoons, My Hero Academia, which frankly, I do want this pop. I'm kind of into My Hero Academia, and they have this one of Deku in his Gamma suit, and I kind of want that one, which looks dope. But yeah, you know, if you're just a collector really interested in collectibles and wanting to see what's coming in the future, I think this guide will be a good thing to get and look through and see what you can browse for merchandise that you want to personally purchase. But little warning, this magazine is addressed to me, so my address is on this. So if I mail it to you, please don't repost my address online. That'd be kind of upsetting and a bit distrusting, you know, from me to you mailing this. So don't post that to people. Keep my address private, as I will with yours, but I just needed to mail this stuff to you guys in the first place. I'm not worried about my address. You know, I'm not afraid to tell where I am. Like, I live in Pacifica, California, but just if people knew my public address, you know, who knows, they might send stuff to me that I might not want to be sent. So you guys understand. Everyone can understand that. Yeah, you know, Marvel figures, these, you know, Catwoman Kotobukiya statue, they had one of Black Cat. I want one of her Black Cat, but they ran out, or they are not making them anymore. But Spider-Man statue, Black Panther, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, Batman. So a lot of cool collector's items for you guys, and a couple of stickers, which I have no idea what they're for, but they just gave them to me at Comic-Con. Some girl on, like, some chair or something, kind of in, like, a tank top and dress wear, and I think this is a pumpkin bomb or a basketball or something. I have no idea for sure, but it's stickers, it's comics, it's miscellaneous items from Comic-Con that you guys will hopefully enjoy. Scratch my address out. Yeah, I could, but I don't want to kind of damage the product, you know, if that makes sense. I trust you guys well enough, though, that you won't share my address or anything. I won't do that to you guys either. But, anyways, guys, yeah, that's kind of it with these items, you know, from these miscellaneous comics and you know, covers, stickers from Marvel's booth at Comic-Con. And to get this, sadly, we lost a lot of viewers. There's only 41 people watching now, but thank you guys for staying tuned this long. I'm going to end it soon, get some lunch, because I am hungry. But before we, you know, end, I will ask you guys the question to get these items. All of these, not just one, but all this stuff. What is your favorite comic in general? Is it Spider-Man, Star Wars, Fantastic Four, Marvel, Daredevil, and why? You know, Batman, whatever, Killing Joke, Maximum Carnage. Me personally, I already talked about earlier, Black Cat, Spider-Man, The Evil That Men Do is phenomenal, in my opinion. I really loved what Kevin Smith did with Black Cat's story in that comic. And Maximum Carnage and the 6th volume of Ultimate Spider-Man. Not the issue, but the whole storyline of Venom, the Venom arc in Ultimate Spider-Man, which is technically labeled as Volume 6, is, you know, based off the Ultimate Spider-Man video game, or the Ultimate Spider-Man video game was based off of that storyline, and it is agitated that the Venom movie didn't take more of an inspiration from that darker version of Venom, and instead kind of did a more lighthearted tone version of Venom from the 90s show or the comics, you know, where he's more like the Lethal Protector. That's what they said. They said the movie took inspiration from the Planet of the Symbiote storyline and Lethal Protector. So obviously, we got something like Lethal Protector. But for me, I wanted to get a more darker, gritty, super, super interesting look at Venom's persona, who Eddie Brock is, what the Venom symbiote does to Eddie as a person, what it makes him feel, you know, the conflict that he has when he's trying to help people, but he's also kind of a monster in the same way. I wanted a lot of that, but we really didn't get it, and I'm kind of upset about it. But I still really liked Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, and I think he did a good job with what he was given, but it wasn't the Venom movie I wanted to see. Just like how Spider-Man Far From Home wasn't the Spider-Man movie I wanted to see. If you guys liked it, that's fine, but to me, Venom was all right. Far From Home was passable, but Into the Spider-Verse was great, and you know, now Avengers Endgame was amazing. You know, it's not really a Spider-Man movie, but Spider-Man was in that movie, and it was awesome. Yeah, so what's your guys' favorite comic and why? Again, mine, Evil That Men Do, Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 6 with the Venom storyline, Maximum Carnage, you know, the first Amazing Fantasy, of course, but that's kind of a, you know, like a blunt answer. Spider-Man Blue, very good. Life Story is all right. And then also they had one with, Spider-Man, I think it's like a short story, but it's like Spider-Man and this girl who's sick, and she's a homeless girl, and she's, just on the street, but then Spider-Man finds her, and she's like about to die, I think. Or, oh, the kid who collects Spider-Man, that's what I'm thinking of. That's not the same storyline, but something like that. But yeah, the kid who collects Spider-Man is a great story. And all the J. Michael Straczynski stuff, and Nick Spencer and all that, and Tom McFarlane, all these artists and writers making all the storylines from the past are phenomenal. But I think Maximum Carnage is a standout for me, and Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 6, the Venom arc, is amazing. So, any replies? Xavier Sandoval. My favorite comics are Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, specifically because it was the first thing I've ever seen of Spider-Man, and I read the comics of Ultimate Spider-Man, and I can relate to him. That's very cool. Mental Gamer, my man, my favorite comic is definitely The Lizard Revenge, because it really highlighted the conflict between Kurt and the Lizard. I love seeing Kurt taking control of the Lizard to save the ones he loves. That's a great one, too. NBW_Xavius, my favorite comic is Spider-Man. He gives hope. All my friends get on me about liking Spider-Man, but I feel like I can connect to Peter and Miles in ways I've always been a Spider-Man fan no matter what. That's very, very sweet. But not to say, like, who's your favorite comic character, Spider-Man? No, like, comic in general, like, comic title, comic series, comic storyline. What's your favorite? Like, so far, Mental Gamer has the best answer with The Lizard Revenge. That's a great one. I know there's one where Kurt is trying to find a cure, but he gets taken over by the lizard serum, or the lizard version of himself, and he's like tricking Peter to try and act like he's the lizard, like he's in the sewers doing stuff, but he's acting like, oh my god, the lizard's doing this to me, I don't want to do it. But his grand plan all along is to become the lizard, to take out Spider-Man and get his family back or something. So he's tricking Peter this whole time and embracing his lizard self, which is scary and really creepy how they draw him as like half lizard, half human. But I thought it was really cool. They did. I forget what it's called. It's I don't know, but Venom and Carnage is cool too. Carnage USA, it's whatever. But there's a lot of cool storylines in that essence. I could never choose a favorite series, says Code of Comics. My little cousin loves City at War. Good answer, because it's the first comic series he has. He loves the game and everything like us, and I let him read. That's very cool. See? And people, this is what I'm getting, sorry, my throat. When I'm getting my point across, Code of Comics just brought up a beautiful point. His brother, the first comic series he has, I don't know if that's what he's ever read, but owned at least, is City at War. And that's what I've been saying all this time, and people on Twitter are so like agitating to deal with when they're like, you're just a shill, don't overreact, quit trying to do it for attention. It's like, okay, sorry for being excited for Spider-Man and for a game that literally could be someone's first introduction to the character in general, which it has been. People have officially said online that their kid, and there's videos of their parents playing the game with their kids who have been introduced to Spider-Man for the first time with the game, with literally the Advanced Suit, with Insomniac Games, with Yuri Lowenthal, with Otto Octavius. Like, I don't understand. So, like, when people say quit acting overreactive, quit trying to do it for clout, quit sucking Insomniac off, like these stupid points, it's like, move on, please. Seriously. If you can't be excited for a Spider-Man video game without people trying to put down your, hype or excitement or joy for a character that we all love, move on. Do something productive. Seriously, ridiculous. Spider-Mom, the best one. My Spidey kid wanted to answer. Miles Morales comics are my favorite because he's a lot like me. Not just a kid, but trying to be a better person and share hope with others. Also, I love the jokes. Miles' jokes are really good, too. He's great. Mikhail, I promise we'll try and collaborate. Now that all I have left to do now, because we're waiting for Gamescom with the Avengers, is to see the gameplay again. My videos I have now are the top 5 Captain Marvel and top 5 Miss Marvel costumes that we should see for the game. After that, I think I'll be free, and then you, myself, and Isma can do the Iron Man Armored Adventures collab when I have time. Which, I'm sorry for not doing it again, but I've been occupied trying to do this stuff, so hopefully you understand. But you're awesome, dude, and your thumbnails are excellent, and all your live streams are phenomenal, too. Code of Comics, I have nothing better to complain about. Yeah, it's just people being dumb, honestly. Like, So you're saying to tell me like the people who got super hyped for Avengers Endgame are fine, but the people who get hyped over something that they didn't discover yet for Spider-Man PS4, mainly, I posted a tweet the other day of Spider-Man fighting Taskmaster in the game, and Taskmaster was web swinging essentially to attack Spider-Man, and he dodges out of the way and like pulls him down with webs. That looked amazing, and I have never seen that animation before in the game, and it freaked me out. Like, wow, I played this game like what, 10 times now? Probably more, and I still have never seen that animation in the game. So I wanted to try and play it. Play the game again to that point to try and experience that part for myself. And yeah, I guess I'm a sucker for liking something I'm invested in. Okay. Way to clown on me, you guys. Good job. You really got me there. Damn, I'm excited for something. Shucks. Wow. Sucks to be me, I guess. What a tragedy. Anyways, yeah, but I think so far, we have Samuel Kirigu for the Avengers magazine. We have Matthew Hall for the Spidey magazine. We have Lucky Star Z for the Spider-Man comics, both City at War and Life Story. So far, though, I think I see another reply here, but so far I think Mental Gamer, you actually might have won the question because I do really like that Lizard storyline you were talking about. I've read some too, and they're really good. MBW Xavius, my series as of right now is where it was the Carnage Goblin. Yeah, I've seen that. I'm not really a big fan of it. Like all the recent stuff, I'm not digging. Nick Spencer's doing a good job, but I'm not really invested in it as much as I'd like to be. I'm more classic, classic storylines and Ultimate. Before Miles was introduced, I thought the Ultimate Comics were going somewhere, especially after the game came out, but everything kind of went downhill after they connected everything, and I don't know, it's kind of really odd to get back, especially with Superior Spider-Man. Oh my god. That's kind of why people are mad at Dan Slott, because he ruined Spider-Man. Not legitimately, not fully, but just it was an interesting storyline at the time, Otto and Peter's body and all this stuff, but all the effects, he ruined all the relationships with all the characters, MJ, Black Cat, and I think he also introduced that character Alpha. Remember that one time Spider-Man had a sidekick, Andrew Maguire? Anyone remember that? I believe that was Stan Slott, and it was really bad. So I'm trying to forget all that stuff, and yeah, it's not doing it for me. But yeah, my series as of right now is where it was the Carnage Goblin, and it had Peter, Miles, Silk, New Doc Ock, and Anti-Agent Venom in it versus Carnage Goblin. So yeah, all that stuff I haven't read. So because it's all so numbing for me personally to get back into to see this type of stuff. Yes, Ultimate Spider-Man, Andrew Maguire. Yes, based off Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Andrew Maguire is Alpha from the comics, who was a brief sidekick of Spider-Man, who was trash, and it was awful. Yes, this is a thing that exists. I'm not kidding you. It was that bad. And I don't know if it was Dan Slott who did it or someone else. Whoever it was atrocious. And I'm really upset with how it was just handled during the Superior Spider-Man time. I think that was when it was going on. Anyways, yes, guys, I think Mental Gamer, I think you did win the question about the comics, because you're kind of the only one who answered properly. I guess Spider-Mom, and Brothers Web. My favorite comic is a Spider-Man comic that had Stan Lee as Spider-Man on the front page. He was telling the story. That's awesome. But Mental Gamer, I think you win all this comic memorabilia from Comic-Con with these stickers, posters, comics, everything. I hope you like it. I'm sorry it's not as exciting as a magazine or some artwork, but it's some souvenirs from Comic-Con, so it feels like you were there in a way, just seeing stuff at the convention from Marvel. Again, it's all directly from Marvel's booth that they were giving out to people for free, so hopefully you enjoy it. You have some sort of, excitement looking through some of the stuff, whether that's collecting stuff or the comics and all that. But again, keep up the awesome work on your channel, dude. I'm sorry I haven't been able to comment in your videos recently, but I'm still subscribed and I watch all your stuff. So again, amazing work, and your art's beautiful. So just keep doing you, and I'll mail them to you as soon as I can. Message me on Twitter, your address. We already follow each other, so it shouldn't be a problem to get in contact with you. Yeah, I'll try and send it to you as soon as I can. That'll be fun. Let me see. I think that's it. Yeah, let me write the name down. Almost forgot. So Mental Gamer gets the comic merch, or just Sdcc souvenirs. So comics, stickers, and posters, or little small posters for the comic art. But yeah, that was it, guys. That was the awesome giveaway I was lucky enough to be able to do for you amazing individuals online, over the world, overseas. The whole reason why I'm able to go to these conventions, to E3, Comic-Con, Game Awards, GDC, all this stuff. Like right behind me, I've kept all the badges that I've been able to acquire at the conventions I'm going to. And it's because of you guys. It's because of you who inspire me countlessly, day in, day out, every single time I'm online on Twitter, YouTube, getting such awesome feedback and comments from you guys who are excited for Spider-Man, who are excited for Avengers, who are excited for Marvel, who are excited for the world of comic books and all this awesome stuff. It's your passion that drives me to go forward, and I honestly wouldn't be here without you guys continuously supporting me every step of this journey. And that's why I try and do these things, because I try to give back to you guys for allowing me to go to these events to get other items for you guys from said events, so that it feels like you were there with me. It feels like that we went on this journey together as one singular unit and overall as a family, as the Spidey Squad. So, again, guys, and I say that all the time, you know, I'm here for the Spidey Squad. Whenever I'm able to talk to the Marvel Games people, Becca McIntosh, Eric Monticelli, Bill Roseman, Isabel Sue, Lonnie, everyone from Marvel Games, I always say every time, any chance I can meet them, that I'm here for the Spidey Squad, representing us as a unit, because that's why we're here, for the fans of what we love the most. And because of that, I'm just so honored to be a part of this community that we've formed together. So, again, the next convention thing is, you know, Comic-Con just ended last week. Next up is the Game Awards, or New York Comic-Con. I probably won't go to that, but yeah, you know, I'll still try and see if there's any merchandise or charity live streams we'll do in the future that I can give away to you guys. I'll be sure to keep you all in the know. I'll be sure to try and invest myself in stuff that I'm paying for myself. You know, artwork, like I said, like, you know, this, you know, Spider-Man art from David Nakayama. This is just for me because I love this artwork from the game. But if there's anything like this that I can get my hands on somehow that's not too pricey, I'll definitely try and do that and deliver it to you guys as fast as I can, because you guys deserve it, because you're the best. And thank you all so much for tuning in for so long. Today is Tuesday, Pacifica, California time. It's 3:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So tomorrow I'll probably be able to mail all this stuff to you guys. So in the meantime, I will contact all the winners, get your addresses, try and make sure that you guys get the proper messages sent with the items I'll deliver, and sent to the right address that you give me. Yeah, Franco, Gamescom and PSX. PSX was canceled last year, so I don't know if they're going to have it again this year. I really do hope that they will. And Gamescom's in Germany, so I'm not going to Germany, but Gamescom is where they show off, you know, games internationally for all these other companies, and that's where they'll show Avengers, but it's in Germany, so I'm not going to be going. But that's by then. I'll be doing some Avengers videos coming soon. Mikhail Conlate, my bro, will be doing an Iron Man VR review. Iron Man Armored Adventures review. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. So, with all that said, thank you so much for all the moderators, Franco, Waru Boy, and just everyone in the stream just participating in it. Sorry if I wasn't able to respond to all your answers to my questions to possibly win the giveaway, but I think you guys were very kind and participating in a really amazing manner during the live stream, so that way it feels like we're all connecting on a great level. So, anyways, guys, that was it, and yeah, just expect more stuff from me and the other Spidey Squad members coming soon. More Spidey Squad photo mode competition stuff's on the way. Franco's gonna do a live stream. Mikhail's doing his live stream stuff. It's awesome. Mental Gamer has awesome videos. Watch him, check him out. You know, everyone deserves their own share of credit because all you guys are phenomenal. But anyways, guys, that's kind of it for this live stream. I will see you all in the next video, whether that be a live stream, charity, Avengers, whatever it may be, but stay tuned for more awesome stuff in the near future. But until then, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Peace out.